before Nigeria had a name, before colonial borders divided the land. Powerful kingdoms flourished across West Africa. Farmers cultivated fertile fields, merchants crossed vast trade routes, and great cities buzzed with life. Families lived, celebrated, and dreamed of a peaceful future. Few could imagine that one of history's darkest chapters was about to unfold. Across the region, kingdoms rose through trade, diplomacy, and military strength. The Benin Kingdom, the Oyo Empire, the Hausa city-states, and Kanem-Bornu each developed their own cultures and systems of government. Like many civilizations around the world, conflicts between neighboring states sometimes led to prisoners being taken after battles. Long before Europeans reached these shores, some societies practiced forms of slavery. Most enslaved people were prisoners captured during wars or people punished for serious crimes. Their lives were often difficult, but these systems were generally different from the hereditary, race-based slavery that would later spread across the Atlantic. Then, in the 15th century, something unexpected appeared on the Atlantic coast. Massive wooden ships sailed toward West Africa. They carried Portuguese explorers searching for gold, spices, and new trade routes. At first, their arrival seemed like the beginning of a new era of commerce. The first exchanges focused on valuable goods. Gold, ivory, pepper, cloth, beads, and metal products passed between African merchants and European traders. For a time, these partnerships appeared profitable for both sides. But beneath the surface, a darker opportunity was beginning to emerge. Across the Atlantic Ocean, European colonies were expanding rapidly. Vast plantations producing sugar, tobacco, and later cotton demanded enormous amounts of labor. Plantation owners searched for workers they could force to labor for little or no cost. This growing demand would reshape history. European traders realized they could earn extraordinary profits by buying and transporting enslaved people across the Atlantic. As demand increased, human lives were increasingly treated as goods to be bought and sold. A trade that would devastate millions had begun to expand. As the trade expanded, some African rulers and merchants became involved by selling captives, taken during wars or raids. Others resisted or refused to participate. The reality differed from one kingdom to another. The slave trade spread through a complex web of conflict, politics, and profit. For countless captives, the journey had only begun. Men, women, and children were forced to walk for days or even weeks toward the coast, separated from their families and uncertain of their future. Many would never return to their homes again. Along the coast stood forts where captives were held before, boarding ships bound for the Atlantic. For many, this was the final glimpse of their homeland. Beyond these walls lay an uncertain future and one of history's greatest human tragedies. Once the captives reached the coast, they were forced aboard crowded slave ships. Hundreds of people were packed into dark, cramped spaces with little room to move. The voyage ahead would become known as the Middle Passage, one of the most brutal journeys in human history. The journey across the Atlantic often lasted several weeks or even months. Disease, hunger, thirst, and harsh conditions claimed many lives before the ships ever reached the Americas. Those who survived carried emotional and physical scars that would last a lifetime. When the ships finally reached ports in the Americas, survivors faced another painful ordeal. Families who had endured the journey together were often separated. Many were sold to different owners and sent to distant plantations, never seeing one another again. Across vast plantations, enslaved Africans were forced to grow sugar, tobacco, rice, and later cotton. They worked from sunrise until sunset under harsh conditions, while the wealth they created fueled powerful economies across Europe and the Americas. By the late 18th century, voices against the slave trade grew louder. Religious leaders, former enslaved people, writers, and activists argued that no human being should ever be treated as property. A global movement for abolition had begun. Even under unimaginable hardship, many enslaved Africans resisted. Some escaped, some organized revolts, while others preserved their languages, music, beliefs, and traditions. Their courage ensured that their cultures would survive for generations. In 1807, Britain outlawed the transatlantic slave trade and began using its navy to intercept slave ships. Although illegal trading continued in some areas for years, the movement marked a major turning point in history. The slave trade left deep scars across Africa, Europe, and the Americas. Entire communities were transformed, families were torn apart, and generations carried the memory of loss. Yet the descendants of those who endured also shaped music, art, religion, science, and culture around the world. History reminds us that the transatlantic slave trade was driven by a complex combination of demand, profit, conflict, and political decisions. Understanding this past requires honesty, compassion, and a commitment to learning from every part of the story. The story of slavery is not only about the past. It is a reminder of the value of freedom, human dignity, and justice. By remembering the truth, we honor those who suffered and help build a future where every human life is treated with equal worth. If this documentary helped you understand a part of history you never knew before, please like this video, subscribe to Depth Vault, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey into history's greatest mysteries. Until next time, keep exploring the truth.